When most people think about the American Revolution, they picture a brave new nation fighting for freedom. The founding fathers in their powdered wigs, the early battles, and the birth of democracy. But for many people living in the colonies, the story of 1776 was not about freedom. It was about survival, loss, and a future full of uncertainty. Native Americans, loyalists, and even women had very different experiences of this revolutionary period. Their stories often go untold, overshadowed by the more familiar tale of American independence. In this video, we're going to explore the hidden side of the American Revolution. The parts of the story they never taught you in school. From the Native Americans who fought to protect their land, to the Loyalists who were forced to flee their homes, and the women who, despite being excluded from politics, played critical roles in shaping the outcome of the war. For Native American nations, the American Revolution wasn't a fight for freedom. It was a battle for survival. Native Americans had been living between two empires, the British and the colonists. To many, the British seemed the lesser of two evils. They had made promises to limit colonial expansion into native lands. The American Revolution, however, turned everything upside down. When the revolution began, many native tribes sided with the British, not out of loyalty, but out of fear. They feared that an independent America would mean more settlers pushing west and encroaching on their territories. Some tribes, like the Iroquois Confederacy, were divided. Others, like the Cherokees, sided with the British, hoping for protection. But the result was devastating for Native Americans. Villages were burned, crops were destroyed, and once the war ended, they were completely excluded from the peace talks. The Treaty of Paris, signed in 1783, didn't just ignore native sovereignty. It actively handed over native lands to the new United States. Native Americans who had fought for the British found their land stolen and their people devastated. A century of conflict would follow. Not every colonist supported the revolution. In fact, about 20% of the population remained loyal to the British Crown. Loyalists came from all walks of life. Farmers, merchants, and even enslaved people who had been promised freedom by the British. These loyalists feared the chaos of rebellion more than the stability offered by the British monarchy. As the revolution raged on, loyalists were ostracized, harassed, and even violently attacked. Many loyalists had their homes and businesses seized by patriots. After the war, tens of thousands of loyalists fled their homes. They became refugees, forced to rebuild their lives in places like Canada, the Caribbean, and Britain. These refugees, America's first political exiles, were erased from the story of American triumph. While women couldn't vote or hold political office, they were still central to the war effort. Without them, the revolution may have never succeeded. Women worked tirelessly behind the scenes. They ran farms, businesses, and produced the goods needed to sustain the army. They also followed the army, acting as nurses, cooks, and providing critical support. Some women took on more dangerous roles. They became spies, delivering critical intelligence to the Patriots. One such spy was Agent 355, whose real identity remains a mystery to this day. And then there was Abigail Adams, wife of John Adams, who famously urged her husband to remember the ladies. The American Revolution wasn't just one story. It was the story of a nation being born, and the story of those left behind. To understand the true legacy of 1776, we need to remember all the voices, those who fought, those who lost, and those who persevered. History isn't just about who won, it's about who paid the price. Subscribe for more history.